Aaron Murphy, number 7, up top on Adams. You're going to see a little bit of that today.
3rd and 4. O'Connell all day to throw. Only a 3-man rush. Here comes Hunter late as he checks it to Jacobs. And Josh Jacobs is going to have a Raider first down to the 35. And Jacobs has been rolling of late, especially under Antonio Pierce. Quick screen out to Jacoby Myers. And Myers will end up a couple of yards short of a Raider first down. Myers in motion. O'Connell on the sneak. And what a push. Plenty to move the chains for Las Vegas.
The Raiders are liking. Here's the 2 tight ends.
And off the play fake, O'Connell loves to go play action to the sideline, and he finds Jacoby Myers, who came back to get it. That'll be another first down. So now with 2nd and 18, we see Amir Abdullah in the backfield for the first time. O'Connell with pressure coming late, and Aiden O'Connell goes down. Troy Dye with his first sack. He sprung off the block of Abdullah and was able to get to O'Connell. Drops him for a loss, and it's 3rd and long. 3rd and 5. Dobbs, protection breaking down. Dobbs is in trouble, and down he goes. Robert Spillane got there. Max Crosby was in there. A whole host of Raiders to close out Joshua Dobbs, and the Vikings go 3 and out. We saw a quarterback sneak on the first 4th down conversion. Now the handoff to Jacobs, and a gaping hole for Jacobs, and an easy converge. 3rd and 17. The play clock winding down. He's going to have to get the snap off, and he just does. 3rd and 17 on a slant. It's Adams. Gets into Viking territory by a yard to the 49, but he's still a good 4 yards short of a Raiders first down.
You see a little chip from C.J. Ham.
3rd down and 6. Pressure up the middle. Dobbs floats to the left. Now going to tuck it and run. And Dobbs with a first down. And there's using the legs. One of the things Kevin O'Connell was hoping to see today from his quarterback. And there's a little of that zone read.
There it is.
It'll be Madison who breaks a tackle. Madison rumbling forward. And he picks up yardage to the 43. And the Vikings first down. All right, Chris, thanks so much. Here, 3rd and 19 for the Vikings. Pressure coming, and down goes Dobbs. Max Crosby, 12 and a half sacks on the year. Vikings rush 5. O'Connell in trouble, and down he goes. Wrapped up by DJ Wanham. Give a cap tip to Daniil Hunter for the initial surge as well. Meek Robertson is waiting. Opposite. Raiders look like they're showing pressure, and here it comes. Dobbs drops back amidst the pressure to the sideline, and there is Justin Jefferson, who makes the catch for a Viking first down.
Oh, he might have checked to... Did he run him in? No way.
4-man rush. Dobbs will throw over the middle. Jefferson up to get it. Gets hit hard by Marcus Epps. Jefferson springs back up at the Raider 46. 15-yard gain and a first down.
Got him.
Has room to run. Instead, he'll throw it short. Catch is made by K.J. Osborne, and it's a first down. Max Crosby back on the field. First incompletion on the drive for Dobbs.
Cannot have a negative play here. Keep it close for the field goal.
Dobbs hit as he throws. Low throw. Is it caught by a diving Brandon Powell? Yes, it is. And a first down at the 23. Or is it a first down? No, they're going to say incomplete.
2 walked him out into the locker room where he remains questionable with a chest injury.
Yeah, not the news you want to hear if you're a Vikings fan, Laura. Thanks very much. Greg Joseph trying to get the Vikings on the board with a 49-yard field goal, and it is no good. 2nd down and 8. O'Connell looking to the sidelines. Devontae Adams with the catch. He's a couple of yards short of the first down. Josh Metellus chases him out there. You see Jacobs back out there motioning to the top of your screen in the slot. O'Connell will go the other direction, and he throws it wide of Hunter Renfrow. That right about this time in his whole football journey, that is when people give up on Josh Dobbs. He goes, I wasn't ready to do that yet. On first down, Madison the carry, a hole, and Madison into the secondary, upended in Raider territory. A first down to the 49-yard line. 3rd down and 3. Raiders rush 4. Dobbs in trouble. Chased by Crosby, who's got him for a second time today.
Here's a pressure look with those 2 backers inside.
Here's Amir Abdullah on the delayed handoff for the former Nebraska Cornhusker out to the 22-yard line.
That time we saw Aiden O'Connell get him into a run.
There's O'Connell on first down over the middle, finds his tight end. This is Michael Mayer, another first down to the 36-yard line. On 3rd and 3, O'Connell under pressure, and O'Connell goes down. Ivan Pace Jr., 2.5 sacks on the season. Just came back after being out since week 5. 3rd and 4. Dobbs under some late pressure gets rid of it to Osborne, and Osborne twisting his way through the tackle of Jack Jones, and that second little turn got him the first down. Ty Chandler in at running back with Madison on the sidelines. Pressure up the middle, nowhere to go. Spillane was all over Dobbs. Unblocked into the backfield. O'Connell in a clean pocket finds Renfro on the run. Hunter Renfro into the secondary and down at the 11. Now 2nd and 19. The toss out to Renfro. Renfro fumbles the football, bouncing around on the turf, and the Vikings recover. Mekhi Blackman pouncing on the fumble, and the Raiders are turned away on the turnover. Dobbs with a 4-man rush over the middle. There's Hawkinson. You've been looking for him for about 2.5 quarters, Mark, and Hawkinson with his first catch on his 4th target. 4-man rush again. Dobbs has to check it down to Chandler out of the backfield. Breaks the first contact, and Chandler gets the first down. 3rd and 12. Good protection. Now Chase. Dobbs on the run. Throws as he's contacted. The pass incomplete. Malcolm Kuntz about 1 step from a 6th Raider sack. Instead, they'll force the punt unit on. Raiders 2 for 9 on 3rd this afternoon. Vikings rush 4. O'Connell throws, and Jacoby Myers, does he make the catch? He does. Last time we had any game scoreless through 3 quarters in the league, Dallas-Philly, New Year's Eve 2017. O'Connell with all day to throw on 3rd and 5. Daniil Hunter in pursuit. O'Connell will float it up. Coming back to get it is Trey Tucker. And Tucker with a first down. Now they're going to converse on the sideline. Was he juggling the football as he went out? 3rd and 2 from the 40-yard line. Addison motioning to the top of the screen. Backside pressure coming. Dobbs in trouble. Able to float away. Dobbs directing traffic. Wants to run. Goes sideways and gets the first down. 3rd and 15 now. Dobbs stepping up. Pressure coming, and Dobbs will go down. Not a sack because he got past the line of scrimmage. A 2-yard gain before Malcolm Kuntz could trip him up.
You see how close he is to the line of scrimmage. He's going to help out and block inside.
It's Renfro in motion, looking that direction, not open. O'Connell just going to tuck this one away, and O'Connell going nowhere. Harrison Phillips with the sack, his 3rd of the season, and the Vikings defense stands tall again. We talked about this with Kevin O'Connell, and he said, if I have to make a change, I'm going to make the change while the game is still winnable.
Yep.
The game is very winnable, and he's going to Nick Mullins, who did get some reps. It wasn't a normal backup week for Nick Mullins.
Right.
They got him some first-team reps this week.
Right. Coach Monken, who's now with the Ravens, but won a couple of those national championships at Georgia, then with Shanahan in San Francisco, so he's capable.
And on first down, deflected it into the hands of T.J. Hawkinson. Robert Spillane tipped it, but Hawkinson stays with it for just his... Seeing more of Naylor out there again. Justin Jefferson out for the remainder of the game, injured in the 2nd quarter. Mullins. Pressure. Fires. Naylor with the catch. Naylor down at the 42-yard line. Clock down to 2. Just gets the snap off. O'Connell looking. Pressure comes. Steps away. Throws it short. Abdullah with the catch, and Amir Abdullah short of the first down. 3rd and 7. 5 of 15. This is the 30th 3rd down snap of the game. Mullins to the sideline. Open, and with the catch for the first down is KJ Osborne. But they need a conversion. Raiders rush 4. Mullins under pressure. Hit as he throws. Finds Hawkinson. First down, Minnesota to the 46.
And here's the difference.
Play clock down to 1. Mullins gets the snap just in time. Mullins will throw to the side.
Oh.
It is caught. Breaking free is Jordan Addison. Now they're well in field goal range with 2:27 to go in a scoreless game.
You know what I mean? Just play safe and get your field goal.
3rd and 12.
There
it is. The draw play. Good call, Mark Sanchez, as Ty Chandler takes it down near the 18-yard line. The snap is down. The kick by Joseph is right down the middle. And we have points in Las Vegas.
But you got to credit their defense, and let's see if they can keep making Aiden O'Connell's day a rough one.
O'Connell to the it's intercepted. Ivan Pace Jr. with the diving pick. 1:52 to go, and that may have sealed it for the Vikings. He's flipping for a 3-0 win. And it's a
quick kick.
They're going to punch the punt with Joseph. It'll be picked up by the Raiders and looking for a little bit of running room. 10 seconds to go. Vikings will spread their defense out all over this field. And O'Connell will throw it short, and here we go. Devontae Adams with some running room at midfield. Adams looking to lateral. He laterals it to the big man, Greg Van Roten. The ball loose on the field. And that is going to end this ball game.